All right. We are officially live, and we were for about 5 seconds, and I didn't realize it. But I started a few minutes early because I am impatient, and I don't care. So welcome to the Friday live stream. It is almost your weekend, but you know you can't kick your weekend off without watching some guy open boxes and talk about music. So I'm excited to see who joins up. And Tyler, first one in. Always, I feel like you're winning the award, my man. Yeah, I'm excited. I got a bunch of stuff down here to open, and I'll wait for a few more people to trickle in because I started early. I tricked you. Let's see. Let me see how many I have. Oh, what's up, Law Dude? What's up, James? Good to see familiar faces from the start. Damon, the man is back. I am back. What's up, Jeff? Anthony Best is here, folks. Hi from Melbourne. I've always wanted to visit Australia, but I'm terrified of the spiders. So I don't know if I'll do it. Maybe winter I'll go at some point. What's going on, Scott? How many records do we have today? We have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 records. Not as many as I thought, but there's like some hefty boxes in here. Some pretty sizable picks. So you guys know the drill. I'm going to open up these records and talk about them, and then we'll do Q&A until I get too hungry, and then I eat dinner. This is kind of this is how it has been, and this is how it will be. But if you follow in the steps of Tyler Foley, the Super Chat King, if you Super Chat me, I will see it pop up in big, colorful bubbles, and I will answer your Super Chat immediately to the best of my ability. So let's hit the like button, and then let's get started with the first package. But Tyler, there you go. He beat me to it. I think you sent that Super Chat as I said it. So Tyler's the unofficial spokesperson of the live stream, I've just decided. All right. We have a mailer, a strange mailer, but let's see what's inside. I think I know what's in this one, actually. And I think this is a crowd pleaser, if it's what I think it is. Let's see. A crowd pleaser before we get to the onslaught of obscure stuff. All right. What is going on with this mailer? Wow. Okay. This is what's funny is that I own this record, but not this version of this record. So, little backstory behind this. So, this is an album that everyone on the planet knows and loves. This is Fleetwood Mac Rumours, one of the best records of all time. Almost impossible to argue. Just pop perfection. So I own the acoustic sounds version of this. That's well, actually, did they press it? Maybe they didn't. It was pressed at Palace, and it was 33. It wasn't. So okay, I'm losing my train of thought here. So it was a standard pressing, and it sounds amazing, and it's one disc. And I'm like, how could this record sound any better? It's one of the best sounding records in my entire collection. And then I always heard that the 2-disc 45 RPM pressing, also pressed at Palace, sounds even better, which I feel like for people with turntables that are of the entry level, I can't fathom how they would be able to perceive anything sounding better than the 33 RPM that I have. But I've always been curious, and despite not wanting to flip this 3 times to listen to the album, I've always been curious, but I never wanted to bite the bullet on buying the 45 RPM pressing because it's a little more expensive. Someone posted on Reddit the other day that if you order the Fleetwood Mac Rumours on Walmart, whatever the link was that they posted, they send you the 45 RPM Palace one. And this is $10 or $15 cheaper than it retails on sites like Acoustic Sounds. So I was extremely skeptical that would happen. But I took a chance. I don't like to usually purchase records at Walmart, but this seemed intriguing enough to give it a shot. And lo and behold, they sent the 45 RPM pressing. So now I'm going to have to listen to it and see if it really does sound that much better than the standard 33 pressed at Palace. But they're both going to be easily some of the best sounding records in anyone's collection. So if you can track down those pressings in particular, you will be very, very happy. Unless you have a suitcase record player, and you probably won't be able to tell the difference pressing to pressing because it's too distorted within itself. But highly recommend checking it out. I'm stoked that worked out the way it did. Let's see, we got a box and a bag. Someone says do a shootout video. I've never done a shootout, and I feel like I just don't know how to do it properly. I'm not audiophile enough to like be able to speak to it on a technical level. I talk about music and I talk about, it's like feelings, right? It's not so much about technical, terminology. Frank Weichman, what's up, man? Just got the same one. The National arrives tomorrow. Are you finally getting your first National record? Please tell me it's Alligator, but also tell me which one it is. Almost. Got it in two. That's fine. All right. So this is a record from my youth that was out of print for quite some time. And it's part of a reissue series by this label, Fueled by Ramen, which does a lot of pop punk and punk stuff. This is an emo classic. The same old Blood Rush with a new touch. Cube's what we aim for. On silver vinyl, which is the whole series that they're doing. So every single reissue that they're pulling out, they pulled out Paramore's first record. They did, I think, Take This to Your Grave by Fall Out Boy. A lot of these records that are hard to find, they're doing this reissue on silver for the 25th anniversary of Fueled by Ramen. So I was stoked to not have to pay out the nose for an original press of this, although the colorways of the original press are pretty stellar. So yeah, excited to give this a spin, and this is incredibly nostalgic for me. If you like emo that's a little whiny, this is right up your alley. And that's what I like, because it reminds me of what I listened to in high school, and I still enjoy. I see Frank, it is the infamous Gator. I can't wait to hear what you think of it. I don't know, have you even heard it, or do you just not own it on vinyl, Frank? I'm not sure if you told me that you've never really listened to the National, or if you just didn't own any copies. All right, let's keep going. If you guys can hit the like button, as I say all the time, that'd be great. All right. I love this. This is a message that is very important that all mail carriers should believe in. Do not smash, because it's actually been quite some time since I've received a mailer that has been like smashed to smithereens. So knock on wood that is not gonna happen to me in the near future. But let's see. This is Fat Pop. Oh, nice. LP's Fantastic Damage. Long-awaited reissue. This thing was out of print for a decade, maybe more. LP, obviously, if you don't know, is Run the Jewels along with Killer Mike. He also is one of the best producers of all time and has a pretty substantial career of solo material, and some of it's a little too experimental for me, but albums like Fandam really hit the spot in the right way. So the original was, I think, 3 discs, and I believe this reissue is only 2. I could be wrong. So hopefully they don't sacrifice sound quality, but loving the really thick gatefold. I appreciate that. I actually, this is an album that I found at a record fair in a bin. Like, it was a bin that had no hip hop. It was like a bunch of classic rock. And then I pulled this out, and they were asking $5 for it. This is probably in 2015. And I was like, oh my God. So I bought it for $5. And then I think in like 2017 or 18, I saw that it was going for like triple digits. And I sold it under the impression that I would probably find it again one day, or it would get a repress. And lo and behold, here's the repress. So that was a smart decision on my part, and now I have it again. So Fantastic Damage, very good underground hip-hop record from LP before he became Run the Jewels and that empire began. This is going to be tricky to open. Hey, what's up, John? Good to see you, as always. I'm reading some of the comments, but there's not that many tonight, so I'll get back to them after we do the unboxing. Unless you have a super chat, of course. All right, this is a precarious package. I feel like every live stream lately there's been like a precarious package situation where I have to like do surgery to get the record out. All right, let's see if that worked. Oof, I am not confident in getting this out. Okay. this is in there for sure. All right, can I? Let's see if I really have no idea the best way to go about opening this. Jeez Louise, what is happening here? It's like taped to the inside? Can I show you what I'm dealing with here? I feel like someone should make a supercut of all of the live streams where I'm like struggling extremely hard with trying to get a record out. That'd be funny. Okay. I still don't know what this is from just looking at it like this, but I suppose we will find out. Oh, I do know what this is. What a horrible packaging job. So somebody posted a picture. Did it survive? Let's see. It did survive, but I don't think this is the right variant. I think that they put the wrong variant in. Am I crazy? Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I feel like this is the wrong variant. I'll have to double check. Anyway, this is an album called Elephant and a Barbar. Before I talk about it, let me answer Tyler's super chat. Going to Boston for a mayor show soon. Any good record spots or food spots? I went to Boston a long time ago. It might have been before I started the channel, so I wasn't doing record store videos, but Armageddon Shop is pretty cool. There were a couple other great shops. I can't remember the names. But I will say my critique of Boston was that the food I had there was extremely average. I didn't find anything that blew my mind, which is something I always look for when I go to a new city. Anyway, this is by Ichiro Fujiya and Takeshi Kurihara. Totally butchered those names, I'm sure. This is a beautiful kind of ambient jazz record that I love this cover, and I listened to it on the cover alone, and then I loved the listen. I tried to track it down to try to find it, and thankfully the prices aren't insane yet. I feel like when people catch on to how beautiful and unique this album is, and you guys know for me, for a jazz record, it really has to be special to like pull me, and I think this one does. I really love the melodies on here. They're very memorable, very relaxing. But this version was supposed to have a screen printed cover, I believe. And this looks like just the standard variant, I think, because there's no screen printing on it as far as I could tell. So I'm going to have to double check that, possibly, hopefully not send it back because it was overseas. But I paid a pretty penny, more than I would have paid for a standard press. So I'll have to check this out. But if you guys like jazz or ambient jazz, check this out for sure. All right. Oh, what a butcher. What a butchering, folks. Not even close. Sometimes you just gotta use your finger and really hurt yourself. Ow. Oh my god, ow. All right. So, what's cool about this is I got swept up in the hype on this one. So this is Grand Romantic by Nate Ruess. Nate Ruess is the lead singer of Fun and The Format. And I'm torn because I've never heard this before. I don't like the band Fun at all, but I really like the band The Format. So I was like, you know what? I wonder which this is more like, but I didn't have time to really listen and debate it because this was out of print for a long time and this goes for like $100+, and I jumped on it because I was like, if I just think about it, it'll be sold out. And lo and behold, it was sold out very quickly after it went up for pre-order. Hopefully it sounds more like The Format than Fun. I just saw Tony's comment. It's more like Fun. Well, I'm probably going to hate it, which means this will go in a drawer for 2 years, and then one day this will be turned into a grail, perhaps. But yeah, this is I got it, and based on Tony's comment, maybe that was a mistake. But who's to say? Maybe it'll surprise me. Maybe I'll love it. Maybe it won't. All right, let's keep the train rolling. We got a couple more, and then we'll do some Q&A. And I have no idea what I'm eating for dinner. So if someone wants to super chat me like $50, I'll buy myself some sushi, which sounds really nice. Just kidding. All right. Oh, I've been waiting on this one for quite some time. This is the Used Heartwork Deluxe Edition. So the Used is obviously a emo rock band from my youth, and this is a later album of theirs. This came out, I think this is a 2021 record. No, that can't be right. Is that when the Deluxe came out? This is later in their career, and I kind of fell off the Used after their first two records. I stopped listening as much. But I saw this one up for sale as a deluxe, and I was curious, and I listened to half of it, and I thought it was very good. For a band this late in their career, this feels like a comeback album. It was very catchy. I really liked every song I heard, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to dive in. There are a lot of tracks on here. Holy crap. This is quite the sonic journey. But I ordered this like a year ago, so that's how crazy the lead times are these days with vinyl plants. So, yeah, excited to give this a spin. Not a band I thought I would be getting into their new material as an adult, but I was really enjoying what I heard. So, excited to listen to this. Tyler, super chat. Thank you. Wale just put out a part 2 to the album about nothing. Do I like Wale? Would I check that project out? Even back in high school, I feel like when I first heard his music, I was never like a big fan. I didn't dislike him. I just wasn't like a big fan. So if people say it's very good, I'll listen to it, but I probably won't go out of my way. All right, what do we have here? I think I know what this one is, and this is going to be niche. So if you guys don't like niche stuff, this is a time to go grab a water, maybe use the restroom. I'm super excited for this one, personally. Whoa! Almost just spilled my water all over my phone, which would have been less than ideal. All right. So here we go. This is some nerdy stuff. So this is a 4-disc set of different songs from the Final Fantasy series, which is my favorite video game series. I've been playing them since I was 8. Each one has this really pretty shiny cover with this beautiful art of different characters on each one's heroes and villains. And yeah, so there's 4 different volumes in here, and this is the full kind of like, it's not really a box set per se. It's more of a like a four companion pieces that they bundled together. But that being said, I'm unabashedly proud of being a nerd. And I love Final Fantasy, and those games are always special to me. And whenever a new one comes out, I'm always interested in playing it because the stories are so beautiful. And some of them are way worse than others, but the amount of effort that goes into these games, especially the music in each game, is usually stellar. So very excited for this one. Gonna have to have a day where I just spin those soundtracks. John, thank you for the super chat. Did I already talk about the Donda 4 LP set? I have not. So yeah, unexpectedly Donda was released on vinyl for a pre-order that Amazon says is supposed to be releasing, I think, in June or July. We'll see if they hold to that. Reddit was saying that it's limited to like 24,000 copies, which would be crazy for a 4-disc set. I pre-ordered it, but only because I'm a Kanye fan. I will say the things I don't like about Donda are the part 2 songs, especially the one that features Marilyn Manson. I also don't like the track list of the deluxe version that he put out because it makes no sense. There's no cohesion. I was going to make a video about it, and then Needle Drop put one out right before I was about to film, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to put out the same video as him. But we had the same sentiment, which is that it's just the most incoherent, like, it's almost like you put shuffle on Donda and then threw in a bunch of extra songs. So we're like, here you go, here's a new version of the album. The first version flows extremely nicely. If they just tacked on Life of the Party at the end of it, it would have been a stellar addition. But, you know, it's Donda. It's 4 discs, 4 black discs with black cover art. I'm wondering if there's going to be a gatefold that has any art on the inside, or if he's really going minimalist with this, going Gene Blunt. I will say I was surprised it was only $60. I feel like Kanye tends to overprice everything. So $60 for a 4-disc album is not that out of line with other 4-disc releases that are coming out from artists, not Kanye West. So we'll see when it comes out. We'll see if it sounds good. We'll see if the track list changes for the record. Who knows? All I know is I couldn't not order it. So we'll see. I do wish there was a standard like 3 LP of the original version. That would have been stellar. All right, so this last one is actually not a record for me. It's a record for maybe one of you. Kind of. I'll explain. Hey, Tyler. How many songs on an album is too much or too little? Imagine if Kendrick's album was only 9 or 10 songs. I wouldn't mind if it was 9 songs if they were all 4 to 5 minute songs that were meaty and they had a lot of character and didn't get boring. I don't think I don't think the amount of songs is what makes a good album, because there are some albums that are 4 songs and they're post-rock albums and they're 65 minutes and they're amazing. And there are some albums that are like 25 songs, like most of Drake's late releases, and they're terrible. So it's not about too much or too little. It's about what you do with the time that you have. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this release, this monstrosity of a thing, this is actually not for me, as I mentioned. This is going to be a part of the raffle giveaway at the Too Many Records store opening on May 22nd. So I haven't quite figured out exactly how I'm doing the raffle yet with how you get in and how you get tickets and whatnot. But there's going to be a handful of prizes, and if you buy stuff, depending on what you buy, you'll get tickets, and there'll be a drawing. There was a raffle like this at TMR Fest back in the day, and it went really well. So I figured I would try to replicate that again. So this right here is one of the items that's going to be raffled, and I got to give a shout out real quick to Matt McCall, who donated this generously. He is one of the head honchos at Periapt Cables. I talked about them in a video a while ago when I was showing off my all of my stuff in the room. They do incredible headphone cables. They're about to move into speaker cables, and these things are like insanely high quality. Is this my Periapt cable right here, actually? Unplanned. I didn't realize it was right here, but like these things are so nice. They're like the thickest, best connectors. Like these guys, it's like they specialize in one thing, and it's cables, and they do it damn well. So he donated this, which is really kind. They're helping me with some of the stuff with the store setup in terms of getting the store set up to play vinyl and have great speaker placement. So they've been watching and supporting my channel for years now, and I really appreciate them. And this was so kind of Matt to donate this. So this is a box set. This is Smashing Pumpkins, The Aeroplane Flies High, which is a companion piece to Melancholy. Yeah, it's just absolutely, for Smashing Pumpkins fans, this is a great get. It's 5 discs, I think. Yeah, 5 discs. Just like a whole bunch of B-sides and alternate songs, and it's sealed. So this is not a super easy thing to find, and this will be given away as one of the raffle prizes at the grand opening for TMR Fest. So if you guys are planning on coming, hopefully you'll be able to have a chance to win this. Again, if you guys are in the market for speaker cables, or I guess right now headphone cables and speaker cables to come, check out Periapt Cables. I'll type the name in right now so you can check it out. Periapt Cables. Check them out. Thank you, Matt, for that donation. I sound like I'm talking to myself. I'm not. All right. Whew. Let's do some Q&A before it's dinner time for you, boy. Let me see what I've missed up here. Someone asked, "What's the poster behind me?" This is Pearl Jam live in Copenhagen. It was a collab they did with Todd McFarlane, who does Spawn. I was not at that show, but I just think the art is so incredibly badass that I had to track it down. What else? We're talking about Donda. John will be there in spirit. You'll be there in spirit, John, but you will be there in person later this year, which will be awesome. Cute is what we aim for. Is a horrible pressing. Got yours today. Labels off center and sounds bad. Oh, terrific. That's what we needed for an out-of-print emo classic. A terrible pressing. Beautiful. That's not good. Well, I guess I will. I'll spin mine and see if it fell prey to the all the negative comments that I'm seeing. As RSD was just around the corner, have I considered or wanting to release a record under the TMR label for Record Store Day? That sounds like an absolute headache to make happen, especially with all of the delays these days. It would be very cool, but it is not on my roadmap. It's not something that I'm necessarily thinking about. Maybe one day, but I mean, timing that seems like, unless all these plants get built. What's for dinner? I don't know. I don't know what's for dinner, but I'm hungry. Did I pick anything up while on vacation? I went to one record store. I don't even remember the name of it now. It was in Pompano Beach, Florida. I put it on my story. It was a good store. There was nothing there for me. It was a lot more kind of like classic rock, jazz focused. There wasn't as much modern stuff. It wasn't entirely my favorite store for my taste, but it was a good store, and I would recommend your average person to go there. The prices were really fair. Did not pick anything up, though. Did I grab any Record Store Day records? I did. I got a couple things online. I didn't go in person because there was nothing that was like really pressing. I got Cranberry Ray. I got Sarah Bareilles. I got James Blake covers. I feel like I got one other thing. I can't remember. I think I got one other thing. Oh, I just today managed to find a pre-order before it sold out for the Pink Pantheress To Hell With It album, or mini album, I guess, because it's so short. I'm really sad that didn't get a US distro, but I only ended up paying like $35 shipped from the UK, so hopefully that order gets fulfilled and I'm not sitting here holding the bag, but we'll see. I was just unimpressed with the RSD list this year. There was nothing that really was like that crazy, which is a bummer. Did I pick up the 10-year anniversary vinyl to the Weeknd's Thursday album? I really do like the trilogy, but I did not pay $100 for a 10-year anniversary record. I think that's crazy. How's the process of the store coming along? It is coming along. I'm going to go there Sunday. And on Sunday, I'm going to be putting up curtains and getting pieces on the wall that are going to hold records for the wall. I got some amazing pieces from this Etsy store. I'm going to shout them out in a video because they're so beautiful and they're so elegant, and I'm a huge fan. What else am I doing on Sunday? I am getting my desk situated. I'm having a desk custom made, nothing fancy, just plywood, spray painted. But my front desk is going to be finished, I think, hopefully by Sunday. And I'm basically gonna keep sorting things. I have to build a 5x5 Kallax. I have to buy and build a 2x4 Kallax for behind the counter that I'm gonna put the store turntable and receiver on. I'll probably do some live streams before the store opens, but I also have videos planned for the store. I have stuff planned for videos I want to talk about. I want to show off the store when it's done. I want to do a couple videos about how I grade stuff. I have some stuff in the works. I'm going to be very busy over the next few weeks. That's for damn sure. Was I able to snag Turner's Pattern of Infinity from Elusive Sound? I saw the drop, and I saw it too late. I was so busy coming back from vacation that I missed it. So it looks beautiful. Everything Elusive Sound has ever done is always top notch. So I missed it, but that's okay. Oh, Tony, that's what it was. Childish Gambino, Kawaii. And if I don't get the split variant, I'm going to throw a tantrum. Have I ever record shopped in Montreal? I went to Montreal in 2011. I was not a record fan at the time, so I did not record shop. I just drank a lot. But I did not record shop. I'm sure there are great shops there, though. Have I heard that Amazon is starting to put blocks on people buying too much physical media? That doesn't make sense. They want to make money. Why would they stop? Why would a company that big stop people? That's bizarre. Should RSD have been moved totally to the second date so it could have been a bigger event, or do I think it's better to leave it 2 separate dates? I think 1 record store day is better than 2. I understood why they split it into 3 that one year because of the pandemic, but ultimately I think you are cannibalizing everyone's excitement by having 2 record store days and then a record store day Black Friday, especially when the lists aren't that great. If every record store day had heat on it, like, I'm going to say this every live stream until I will it into existence. These labels and record store day need to hire me to figure out what should be on the next year's record store day list. Lock me in a basement with lists of what they have rights to. I will come out of it 3 days later with the ultimate record store day list that will appeal to every person on earth. But they keep fumbling the bag a little bit these past few years. I feel like I'm just more and more unimpressed with the output. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll collab with someone like me. But until then, I'm just going to be a bystander. You ordered online for RSD, you got everything that you wanted. That's what I'm saying, Frank. It's like these days there aren't any hot items that you can't get online. And if you can't get it the day of or the day after, if you wait 2 weeks, you can get it. Gone are the days of the RSD grails. I really believe that. It's a huge bummer. Do I have a whole lot of red on vinyl? I don't, because I don't like Playboi Carti that much. I can deal with him on some features, but ultimately I'm not a huge trap guy, and his vibe is not really, what I go for these days. Am I a fan of Daniel Caesar? I do like Daniel Caesar. I'm not a huge fan, though. Is this an original McFarlane behind you? I mean, it's a gig poster that was from the Copenhagen gig for Pearl Jam that they sold at the show. So it's kind of an original McFarlane. It's not a reproduction. Mike says this is an amazing record store day list for your taste. That's awesome. Now, when I say that the record store day list is deteriorating in my mind, it's not to slight anyone's taste by any means. If you found great stuff, I'm super happy for you. I'm speaking more holistically in the sense of, like, every year from 2015 through 2018, there were like at least 4 or 5 huge things that were mega grails that everybody wanted, and I feel like for me, I haven't seen those in a while, and I've become a little disillusioned. But maybe that's because my collection is getting so big that there are less. I don't fill holes as rapidly as I did. Sounded weird. I don't buy as rabidly as I did back in 2017, Vinyl Community All-Star Vote selection for Record Store Day if it's truly for the record fans. Honestly, that would okay, Frank, that's a great idea. And what's funny is that there's Warner Music has a subset called Run Out Groove, and they vote on titles to be repressed, and they go to their members and they say, here are the 3 titles. Which one do you guys want? And whichever one wins, they repress it, usually with some bells and whistles and a really nice package. If they did that on a larger scale with Record Store Day, at least for some of like the big heavy hitting items, like let's say they have 10 things up and they say, all right, guys, vote for your top 3 of these. And whichever top 3 win, those are the ones they press. That would be for the fans. That would be exciting. And I don't know why they don't do things like that. It's like, in my mind, it's like 10 people deciding for 1 million, It doesn't make sense. Do I think Taylor Swift is going to repress the RSD 7-inch to combat all the scalpers? I think that whole situation's so funny. Swifties are crazy, and I, as a fan of her music, I like The Lakes was like one of the worst songs on Folklore, and it's already on the standard vinyl, so why? It's just a collectible, but kind of. It's just a song that already exists on a different record, but for me, 7 inches need to have something really unique to them, for the most part, for me to want them, unless it's like a song I absolutely love. And I don't know if Taylor's going to repress it, because I feel like you can't say it's a collectible and then go back on it, because then she's going to piss off fans that got it as a collectible. So I think it's going to stay as is, but it's a pretty inconsequential song in my opinion, so I don't think anyone's going to be that up in arms about it. Roland asks, will there be karaoke following the grand opening? You know what? Probably not, but there will be drinks at Tiny Bubble Room, and I gotta work the next day on Monday, so probably not karaoke late into the night, unless you guys coax me to go to the Ambassador and we get Chinese food and do karaoke, which I could also see happening. Maybe I'll just take the Monday off. Hey, Caleb Travis, what's up, dude? Yeah, I haven't seen you here in a bit. Run-Out Groove did a fantastic job with Kill Switch Engage represses. Sounds better than the original pressings. Yeah, they do a great job. I used to have a bunch of their stuff. I was kind of on their mailing list for a bit, and they took me off when they switched ownership of something. Like, I got lost in the shuffle. But every release I got from them was super high quality. The jackets were great. Like, they really put care into it. My big frustration is that Mute Math Armistice, which is going for hundreds of dollars now, was on the list to get repressed. And I own an original pressing, but they were going to repress it on 2 discs with B-sides. And I would love for that album to get like a little more of an audiophile treatment like that. And it lost. I forget what it lost to, but it lost to something. And I was like flabbergasted. Tyler has an idea. Okay, let me read this idea, Tyler. All vinyl should be pressed on black by music labels. Then one company should take polls on people's opinions for colored vinyl. You hate a colored vinyl press that doesn't match the album cover. See, it's a cool idea, but imagine putting that into practice. That would be absolute mayhem. Trying to gather that data in time for release dates and getting orders in at plants. I think that we just need to get people that are better at concepting the art. Like, if you guys look at the Too Many Records label, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I have nailed every single one of those variants. Every single one looks amazing next to the record. And it's not that hard to do. And I don't know why. I actually have a video that I'm wanting to put out for next week that's about pressing plants. And it's kind of a hot take. So I might save some of this conversation for that. Am I a fan of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds? In concept, I feel like a lot of Nick Cave stuff is kind of hard for me to listen to, but I respect him. I think I just need someone to make me a playlist of the most accessible Nick Cave songs so I can really dive into them. Because I know a lot of the artists I love, like The National, they worship Nick Cave. So I think I would. Do you think they pressed the Taylor Swift 7-inch at 33 because so many people got confused with 45? Is it 33? That's so funny because most 7-inches are 45. So they're going to confuse people the other way now, who people finally did their research after the Red debacle. And they're like, okay, so 7-inches are at 45 and regular at 33 unless it's 45. And then they're going to go play their thing. It's going to be wrong. Oh, kick it. This is just like the gift that keeps on giving. Do I think some bands put out too many records every time you turn around? They're saying that they're Eagles or Rolling Stones. I mean, the classic rock records they appeal to a very specific demographic of people who grew up with that music, and they just want to collect everything from those bands from their childhood, and they probably sell fairly well. Just listen to Let Love In album. I think Let Love In is an early Nick Cave, right? I tried listening to that, and it was too difficult to listen to for me. If you have the funds, you would love to open a record pressing plant in Houston to try to combat the backup. Dude, I would love to open a record pressing plant. I'm glad that it's starting. I'm glad that Vinyl Me Please is jumping into the fray and starting what needs to happen to keep vinyl afloat. It just takes one domino, and then everyone will see how important it is, and hopefully it'll continue over the next decade, and we'll see a couple more plants pop up. Do I listen to any podcasts? Not religiously. I do love the Dissect podcast. They're awesome. The Childish Gambino season was really, really good. I like the Frank Ocean stuff. I'm excited for Bo Burnham's Inside, but I don't really do podcasts like on a regular basis. I don't have a lot of time. I mean, I guess you can just throw it on in the background, but I don't really do a lot of podcasts. Have I ordered the Animal Crossing import yet? I put my name on that list for a group order, but no one's contacted me. Go figure. That group is not always the kindest to me, but hopefully I'll get in a group buy from someone who doesn't have a weird bias. Did I order any of the Frightened Rabbit represses? You know what's funny about Frightened Rabbit? It's a band that I have never really loved, I think he's a great songwriter, but I don't know if I love his voice. So I haven't ordered any of them. But again, just like Nick Cave, he's an artist that works, in lockstep with a ton of my favorite artists. So I don't know why I haven't been able to get into it. I gave up on Coldplay, but I should give the song Cola Tora a shot. It's one of the best songs they've ever written. Listen, I don't hate Coldplay. I hate their really poppy kind of EDM stuff, but I will definitely give it a shot if you say it's that good. What distros will I be using for my store? I'm set up right now with Sub Pop and All Media Supply. I have a couple other emails out to some other distros, but I'm not stocking many new records, so I'm not really relying on distros for that. The distros are mostly going to be to help order records for the Too Many Records monthly record club that I'm doing. Glad to hear DJ Muggs and Soul Assassins label has their own vinyl pressing machines. Really? I didn't know about that. That seems like you need a bigger operation. Unless it's a lathe. But those aren't lathe cuts. So, weird. Fan of Post Malone? Not really. Not a huge Posty fan. Minesweeper McGee says, are records freaking cool or what? Yeah, they're pretty cool. You felt that way about Wilco for years, but finally came around. See, I've always loved early Wilco. Like Ghost is Born, Summer Teeth, Yankee Hotel. Those are like iconic for me. But everything like later in their career, I felt like after like The Whole Love and onwards, I feel like it's all just a little boring for me. I'm really sad I couldn't go to those Yankee Hotel Foxtrot shows. Huge bummer. Best 90s movie? Probably Singles. Best 80s movie. I don't know. I'm not a big movie guy. I've talked about this. Did I get to spin the new Aurora album yet? I haven't yet. It's in my to listen to pile. I think it's like down here somewhere. Assuming I would love it. Aurora's pretty tight. Best 1800s movie. Tyler, you're wiling out right now. All right, so I'm going to do a couple more minutes, and we'll probably end this around like the 45, 46 minute mark tonight. I've been dealing with some allergies. I don't know if you guys can hear. I feel like I sound a little stuffed up, but the PNW allergies are just like beating the crap out of me. So I was going to go blow my nose or something. But I'll answer a few more questions, and then we'll call it for the night. Thoughts on controversial artists with spectacular music? It's really tough. Almost every artist is controversial if you really dig into them, which is the sad truth. But I don't know. I think that depending on your relationship to the artist and depending on why they're controversial, I think it is possible to separate the art from the artist. If they did something that's really unforgivable, I would not want to support them financially, so like no buying their merch and trying not to stream them. But yeah, I feel like controversy. If you stopped listening to every artist that was controversial, you wouldn't consume content anymore, and that's just unfortunately the way of the world. So it's frustrating for sure. Sky Blue Sky, I forgot about that. That's a great record too. When's the grand opening date? May 22nd, baby. Let's go. I can't believe that in like 3 weeks the store's going to be open. Oh my God, I'm stressed out now. I have so much work to do. Oh God. Where should you go to do good research on record player hardware? Honestly, I would just go to my Facebook group and say what your budget is, and you'll get a ton of responses about good gear. I am not a gear person. I know what I know. I know what I've heard and what I like, but I'm not someone that's going to be able to hit you with a bunch of comparisons. So the Facebook group is a great resource for sure. Am I a fan of Sundrop Garden? Or a bunch of parentheses with a 0. I've not heard of them. What kind of music is it? It sounds kind of cool. Have I ever been to Japan or overseas? Going to Japan has been number one on my bucket list for a decade. I was going to go, and then the pandemic hit. So I'm hoping that maybe next year I can find time to go. It'd be cool to go for the store, bring back a bunch of records. I mean, like maybe I'll, I could chalk that up as a write off, right? The business trip theoretically. Elk Vision, you got to make the drive. I'm gonna be busting out the Grails for first day. It's gonna be out of control. And Fort Vine's playing. We got Fort Vine playing. We got Maya Pilot playing. There's a whole bunch of artists. Not a whole bunch. So far, we just have 2. But we'll see what else happens. What I can pull together by the end of the next 3 weeks. All right, guys. This has been a really fun live stream. But I am gonna go do some dinner. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, we'll do this again soon.